Hi everyone, today we are going to find the radius and diameter when we are given the circumference or area. So we're kind of going to work backwards from what we've been working with before. So let's read the problem. Find the radius and diameter of a circle that has a circumference of 11.8 inches. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So we're going to go ahead and start just like we always do with our card strategy. And look at the information that they give us. They say the circumference is 11.8 inches. And we want to find the radius and diameter. So we want to find this and this. You'll notice nothing in our problem has anything to do with the area. So I'm just going to put an X through that because I don't need to worry about it. Now, if you think back to how we found the circumference when we had the diameter, we would take our diameter and we would multiply by pi. So I know that these two are linked together. But instead of taking my diameter and multiplying by pi, I have the circumference. So I'm going to need to divide by pi. So I'm going to take 11.8 divided by pi. When I do that, I get 3.756. I'll just go out 3 spots, keeping in mind that it says to round to the nearest hundredth. So this right here is where I want to round. So I look next door, and that 6 says that I'm going to bump the 5 up to a 6. So my answer for the diameter is 3.76 inches. All right, now if I think about a circle, a diameter goes all the way across through the center, and the radius starts at the center and goes out. Sorry about my pictures, but it gives us a little bit of a visual. So I'm going to take my diameter and divide it by 2 in order to find my radius. And so that gives me 1.878. So again, I want to round to the nearest hundredth, so I look next door at the 8. So my answer for the radius is going to be 1.88 inches. Okay, now we're going to look at another problem. This one says, find the radius and diameter of a circle that has an area of 56.92 square miles. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to start like I always do with my circle problems, right with card. And I'm going to label the information that I know. This time they gave me the area. It was miles squared. Okay, they want me to find the radius and the diameter. And you'll see that I don't have any information about the circumference, and it doesn't ask me to find the circumference. So I can cross that off. Okay, I'm ready to go ahead and get started. If I think about the area formula, and if I knew the radius, it would be pi, oops, sorry guys, it would be pi r squared. Pi times the radius squared. So now that I'm working backwards, I'm going to undo that process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 56.92 and divide by pi. So I'm undoing the multiplying by pi. When I do that, I get 18.118. Now, I know that my directions say to round to the nearest hundredth, but I'm not done yet. So I'm going to wait till round until I get to the very end. So I'm going to keep it in the thousandths up until that point. Now, I have to look at the formula. I took care of getting rid of this by undoing it, but now I have to undo r squared. Now, if you recall, the inverse of squaring something is the square root. So I'm going to find the square root button on my calculator, and I'm going to take the square root of 18.118, which is 4.256. So I'm going to round that to 4.26 miles. Okay, and sorry that goes up here in the radius. I kind of ran out of space. Now, if I think about my circles and my visuals, I just found that. But the diameter also needs to be found, and it would go all the way across. So I'm going to take that 4.26 and multiply it by 2. And so on my calculator, I got 8.52, I believe. 8.52 miles. Whew, that was really messy, and hopefully you were able to follow it. That was quite a process undoing the area formula, but you can see how we started with the area and we found radius and diameter. So hopefully you guys have a better understanding of working backwards on these types of problems.